US companies complain that competitors in China are unfairly copying their AI systems, using a technique that has been around for years. On June 10th, Anthropic sent a letter to Senators Tim Scott and Elizabeth Warren, accusing the Chinese tech giant Alibaba of surreptitiously copying its AI technologies using a technique called distillation. Like other Chinese companies, Alibaba tapped into Anthropic's technologies through tens of thousands of unauthorized accounts, then used the data it collected to train its own AI systems. Anthropic asked the lawmakers to explore ways of curbing China's distillation. According to Anthropic, these distillation attacks are carried out illicitly, systematically, and at industrial scale to harvest US AI capabilities across frontier labs and repackage them as their own. Experts say China trails the United States in AI development by just 6 months. Anthropic and other US companies argue that without help from distillation, China would be much further behind, which could affect major AI uses like business planning, drug research, mass surveillance, and military weapons. The Chinese startup Z.ai has released an AI model, GLM-5.2, that is nearly as powerful as the top American systems. It rivals them when used for cybersecurity, an area that American AI companies in the Trump administration have singled out as vitally important to geopolitics. About 18 months ago, the Chinese startup DeepSeek shocked Silicon Valley when it showed that it could build effective AI far more affordably than many of its American counterparts. OpenAI soon accused DeepSeek of distilling its technologies. But what exactly is distillation, and are Chinese companies the only ones doing it? Here is an explanation. Is distillation a new concept? Distillation has been common in the tech industry for more than a decade. A small team of Google researchers first developed the technique in the early 2010s as a way of building more efficient AI systems. Through distillation, researchers can collect data from a particularly powerful system and use that data to build a system that can run on less expensive hardware. The first AI model essentially shows the second model how to behave. Think of one model as the teacher and the other as a student. Distillation is a way to copy your own AI? Correct. But some companies use distillation to mimic technologies built by other AI labs. They often copy the behavior of open-source technologies, systems that anyone can use, modify, and copy for free and largely without restriction. That is what labs hope to encourage when they open-source their systems. The idea is that everyone benefits because AI is developed more quickly. When is distillation a problem? Anthropic, OpenAI, and other AI labs get annoyed when companies use distillation to mimic the behavior of their proprietary systems, technologies that are not open-source. These are typically their most powerful systems. Anthropic and OpenAI do not allow distillation for their leading systems under their terms of service. But distilling these systems is still common. In April, while testifying in a federal trial in Oakland, California, Elon Musk acknowledged the practice at his AI company, XAI. When a lawyer asked if XAI had ever distilled technology from OpenAI, Mr. Musk replied, "Generally, AI companies distill other AI companies. Is that illegal?" Some legal scholars argue that the practice violates the Defend Trade Secrets Act, a 2016 law that allows businesses to sue over the theft of trade secrets, but courts have not explicitly decided that. Copyright law does not necessarily apply because distillation is an effort to copy the behavior of the system, as opposed to copying text verbatim. Are the Chinese doing something similar? It is also not completely clear what Chinese companies are doing. They have likely distilled proprietary models in much the same way that American companies like XAI have done. Chinese distillation efforts, however, have caused far more concern among Anthropic, OpenAI, and the other US companies. In February, Anthropic accused DeepSeek and 2 other Chinese startups of improperly harvesting large amounts of data from its systems. Anthropic said the startups had used about 24,000 accounts to generate over 16 million conversations with its Claude chatbot that could be used to teach skills to their own chatbots. How does Anthropic know this? Anthropic closely monitors how people use its systems. Certain repeated behavior, the company said, showed that accounts linked to China were lifting data from its proprietary models. Anthropic claimed that various Chinese companies had used a network of accounts to gain access to its systems. Each Chinese company, Anthropic said, uses this data to help train its own technologies. Can Anthropic prevent this? Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google are sharing information that they can all use to combat the practice, they said. But it can be difficult to stop. If Anthropic shuts down too many accounts, it may end up barring legitimate users. even if US law did bar illicit distillation, it would most likely have little effect on behavior in China. What else can US companies do? Anthropic called on Congress to pass legislation that would allow deeper collaboration to combat distillation attacks, both between the US government and leading frontier labs, as well as between the frontier labs themselves. The company also said the US government should extend its efforts to limit China's access to the specialized computer chips needed to train AI technologies. The world's most powerful chips are designed by American companies, and the federal government has used export controls to stem the flow of those chips to China. It is difficult to do distillation without those chips. Would a distillation crackdown have an impact? Many experts believe that a crackdown on Chinese distillation would have little effect, and that distillation alone cannot build a top AI system as Z.ai did. Others believe that distillation will become less important as companies build systems like GLM-5.2, that are designed to serve as AI agents. Training these agents, digital assistants that can use other software to perform tasks, is much harder to duplicate through distillation. Conclusion: distillation won't matter as much for the next era of AI,